Hello everyone, you're welcome to the RenéeQ Show, the #1 show for women, to inspire women, to impact women, because this is about women telling their true stories of things they've been through, things you are probably going through, but they definitely, and you will definitely get out of it. You're welcome. We're back, and I would like to say a big thank you to Kivo 100% Natural Spices for sponsoring the show, and also to Tubeje by RenéeQ for my very beautiful jewelry. So our guest for today is Mrs. Errama Arkhurst. She's a licensed practicing counselor, founder and manager of Tikva Hope Sanctuary, that's THS in North Laboni. She's a licensed counselor with the Ghana Psychology Council and is committed to the holistic well-being of children and adolescents. Now that's really important. You're so welcome to the show. I'm so honored to have you. And reading this, I'm just like, can you even have any issues? I mean, #1 in mental health, psychology, safeguarding, pastoral ministry, so you read through, you read through things like this, and you're wondering, isn't she perfect? Doesn't she have it all? Does she have any issues at all? Please tell me. Tell me.
Thank you for inviting me to this beautiful show of yours, and thank you. I'm really honored myself to be here, and just to to share, as you rightly said, to share my life with those who may benefit from it. Do I have challenges? Have I been through challenges? Yes. When the Bible says that your latter shall be greater than your former, I am a living testimony of that.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I've been through a married adultery. You know how life doesn't play fair, and has a way of hitting you with the hardest blows. As for challenges, a whole closet full.
Wow.
I've been through quite a few. My dad died very young when I was 18, and that really threw my whole life upside down.
Would you say it's because you were close to him, like very close to him?
Very close to him. I think my loudest cheerleader. Yeah. I went through some very low and very dark moments, thinking that my life had come to an... Honestly, you know how a young heart breaks literally in little pieces, and you think that you're not going to make it. You think that when you sleep, you will die. Yeah. So, that
was your mom... because a lot of the time, I mean, you always hear that daughters are closest to their fathers, but wasn't your mom there to give you that support, if I may ask? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
my mom was there actually. I just reflected very recently. My mom was there, and at the time, I honestly thought she didn't care about me. That is how I felt, not knowing better. But looking back, my mom was also much younger than my dad, and I realized that she was grieving.
She was also hurting.
She was grieving, she was broken. And as young and as immature as I was then, did not even understand.
Yeah.
So it was a very difficult time.
Wow. Errama, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Even in the break, you and I were having a little pep talk, and I was just like, wow, they really need to hear this. Yeah. So you were saying how you were really broken, by losing your dad, and if you were that young, did you know what it was?
No, I didn't. All I knew was that my world was upside down. I knew, in fact, I had questions I didn't have answers to, and that was a scary bit. I couldn't see my future. I was like, okay, so what next? And I had no answers. So, as a child, you cope as best as you can, but many times in the wrong way.
Do you know this now because of all the education you have now? Would you say that, because this is what you're saying is so true and so real, not understanding that somebody probably cannot show you enough love, or you might not see love from somebody who's grieving herself, and all that. You're speaking with such, what's the word? With such, can I say authority or understanding? Is it because of the education you have now? Is it because of the education you have? Yeah.
Yes, it is. The education has enlightened me. It has exposed me to much more than I would have known ordinarily. So yes, my education in that has really, really helped me.
Wow. Please tell us a bit more.
Many times, I think culturally, we don't allow ourselves to grieve. So let's talk about grief. I think our cultural perception or expectation is just deal with it. Okay, I think we are more concerned about the rituals and the performances that we have to go through and exhibit than the person's mental and emotional well-being.
Yeah.
That's how I found it. I mean, that's what I have come across in my profession and in my line of duty. Grieving is a process and very unique to each person. But there are certain principles that we cannot circumvent or should not circumvent. We should allow the process. We should trust the process. Because sometimes you go through the initial shock, disbelief, numbness. So it depends on how you cope or your coping mechanism or what you know at the time. Because at that time for me, I thought my world was over.
Was it because he was the one, a lot of the time, and lots of people that I've spoken to who talked about their father passing away, it was mainly because he was the provider. Of course they had a relationship, but some people would say their worlds came to an end because the provider was no longer there. So paying for things. I mean, I have a very good friend who shared that with me. Maybe because her mother couldn't afford that. We didn't go into that. But then she just said that when her father died, everything that she could have gotten, she didn't get. That's
also true. Yeah, when you say provider, for me, as I said, everybody's one is unique. For me, not only the financial provider, but he was also the emotional provider. He was the educational supporter. When I say that somebody's your cheerleader, he's the one who makes so much noise even when you get C.
Well done, my daughter.
I know, right? Even when you are struggling, I mean.
That's
so
nice.
I'm just saying that he was the kind of father that, to be honest with you, he was both a mother and a father.
Wow.
He understood his children. He put his children above himself. He was how they say in psychology, he was present.
You could feel him.
Yeah, he was present. Emotionally, physically, financially, he was present. So that made it much more tougher for me. Not just, of course, and the finances, I tell you, the finances were difficult. Hard times. But I also missed the relationship that I had. I really did.
Oh, wow. I'm just feeling like, wow. How do you say you got through it? How do you say you got through this?
Yeah.
Because I can really feel your, how do you say you got through it? And this was many years ago.
Many years ago. It was a process. I mean, actually, to be honest, then I didn't even know it was a process, but now I know better. But it was a process. I had to go through as I said, the position of you are not going to live tomorrow, you're going to die because your heart is breaking, to the allowing the negative invasion of your mind. What do you do next? How are you going to survive? You're not going to make it. All this, allowing the negative to rule you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to be honest, I went through it, but I also went through it in the wrong ways. Initially, I didn't go through it in healthy coping ways now. I went through masking it with friendships, going out, not caring. In fact, I was just living day by day, had no plan. For somebody who came from a very planned and intentional living life, I really didn't care.
Wow. And there was nobody around you to...
Yes, you see, that's another thing sometimes I think about. My two older siblings were in the UK then, and it was just the one after he passed away as well, myself, and then my younger brother and my mom. And as we talk about family dynamics, I had two older half siblings who tend to be the enemy. You know how these things have sibling
yeah,
dynamic.
yeah.
So at the time, I don't think I was alone, but I felt lonely. You know how you are with people, but
maybe you're not with the right people.
That's true. That's so true. So I didn't cope. I wasn't coping well. I was just doing friends, going out, anything that kept the pain away, anything that stopped me from thinking about what I had to do next. Because I didn't want to think. I just wanted to live minute by minute, day by day, without having, because I was scared of the future. I was scared to think ahead. I was scared of what the unknown.
What could happen?
It was fear.
What was coming?
Yeah.
So how did you get out of that?
God bless her. My older sister in the UK. She and her husband, and they had just gotten married not too long. She and her husband got me to come and live with them in the UK.
Oh wow! Yeah. God bless her.
I know, right?
God bless her.
Yeah, she became the mother. She stood in. As young as she was recently,
is it because
married.
she saw what you're going through, or did you reach out to her?
That's another thing, Renee. You know, as a melancholic, I'm now finding out I didn't know how to ask for help. You know, I was to myself. I thought I was alone. I wasn't reaching out. I wasn't asking for help.
You didn't know how to, or you didn't want to?
I didn't know how to. It's just a temperament trait. I just didn't know how to. So not knowing how to would not want you to, because you're not sure.
You don't even know.
You don't know how to.
Yes.
You think that everything is your problem.
That's tough, isn't it?
It was a very tough season. But I believe, I'm not too certain, but I'm sure some conversations went on with my mom and my sister that I'm not.
Like, come and take her away.
I think, in fact, I haven't asked myself that question, but it may have been. Because I was there one day and then they said, oh, you have to come. Actually, to be fair, we go and come, so we're planning on going, but because of my dad's death, things like halted a little bit. So one day she said, oh, I bought you a ticket, you should be coming. And even
that's your older sister to you.
And even that, I'll be honest with you, do you know I was resisting?
No, was she saying come and live, like, you know, was she saying come and visit?
She was saying come.
Okay. When you get here,
whether to live or to visit, I wasn't even sure then. But it was like, oh, we've gotten you. My brother-in-law got me the ticket.
God bless him.
Honestly, he was amazing, amazing. So I lived with my sister and her family for a little bit, and then I started finding my feet. And you know how I said to you that because I had a plan of education. Hey, I had my plans. So I was going to be an agroeconomist. I had hello, hi sister. I had plans, but I threw them all away.
What pain can do,
I tell you, and I think it's not just the pain, it's the fear, not just the pain, but the fear of the unknown.
That's
fear.
The fear of the unknown.
You know why the Bible is so important that we do not entertain fear.
Yes.
Fear will make you do the unthinkable.
Yeah.
Say the unsayable. Trust me, fear is not
or not even maybe do at all.
But not doing at all could actually be very harmful.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. You're saying, do the unthinkable, do the, or not even doing at all. It's another terrible.
Because God wants you to take a step, but fear is not allowing you to take that step.
Yes.
How are you going to get there without taking that step? So I went back to school. I did my sixth form at Southgate College. In fact, that one I was under duress. You know how you don't want to do anything, but I am grateful for that.
Wait, did they discipline you? Would you say that? I'm sure you felt love. You said your brother-in-law, but did you feel a sort of discipline that sort of put you back in the right way?
Then no, now yes. It was with so much love that I didn't even know that they were helping me and were shaping me. You know how love, when the Bible says love conquers all.
Yes.
I tell you, Renee, when things are done in love.
So discipline can be done in love. It
discipline
should be done. It should be because no. And I know why I'm asking, or maybe I sort of let me say I understand the questions I'm asking. Maybe for myself, or maybe I'm just looking back. Seriously, I'm looking back at how I was brought up and how I'm bringing my son up now. certain questions that I probably couldn't ask before, that my son can ask me now.
Good.
That I understand now that if I explain to him why, I won't have to shout on him again.
Thank you.
Do you know, I think
wow.
no,
that's
I
half
think,
of my work done. Thank you.
I think, you know what? I think we'll do a part 2 and a part 3 with you. Different
bless
topics.
you.
No, different topics. Let's go back to what you're talking about. I think there's certain things I've read here that I'm thinking, she has to come back. We need to talk about this and we need to talk about that. She'll come back again. But let's go on. You're saying that. Mm-hmm.
So then I got married very early as well. I think it was part of the process. I got married in the UK very early, had my family. So that grounded me, you know, when you are busy with diapers so that grounded me. So that phase of my life was awesome. I mean, I enjoyed being a mother. I enjoyed that part of my life. But having said that, I had to sacrifice. Then my education was put on the hold. So all these accolades, what do you call them? Accolades that you're reading.
The many accolades. Should I read it again?
No. You know, they came very late. They came very late.
Wow. I
started a law degree that I didn't finish in the UK when I had my second son. You know how life just hits, you know. UK, you don't have much help, and you start with all the enthusiasm and energy, then one person has a sick or chicken pox and you miss a whole week of lectures and you're struggling. So then I wasn't able to finish. So I didn't finish. So life went on. I went through the family phase, and then I came to Ghana. I came to Ghana in 2010.
Okay, that's what, 14 years ago.
14 years ago.
Okay.
With the hope of a better Ghana, and God has been faithful.
Amen.
It was in Ghana that I went back to finish my law degree. So trust me, I just finished my law degree in 2014.
Wow!
So when I say the latter, thank you. When I say the latter,
so it's never too late.
No, it's not, Renee. You know, I'd like to encourage, especially women, ladies. You know, time doesn't stop for anyone, so neither should you stop for time. Grab opportunities. Do what you can, when you can, how you can. I got my. Just to add to it, do you know I got my master's in communication on my 50th, well, a month after my 50th birthday? Not 50. Yeah, over 50. Excuse me.
Are you serious? Congratulations, that's amazing.
I know. So ladies.
That's amazing. And you know, just last week I was talking to a friend of mine, and I know you're watching, so listen. I know you're watching. Because I was talking to a friend of mine. So I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was saying how in fact, if she hears this, we should be spanked, because we are not 50. We are over 50.
Yes.
Now she was saying to me that because we finished our degrees, like maybe, I think, how many years ago? Probably, I'm just calculating.
I know, you're like me, I'm always calculating.
Probably about maybe 20 years ago, she's feeling that she can't study again. You know, she can't read again, or she doesn't think. But it's a decision. It's something that it's a decision. You have to be intentional, and you decide to want to do it. Yes. You know, oh my goodness.
I agree.
Do you know how many topics I'm writing for us to?
I'm telling you, I agree. Look,
wow.
In my profession, I have three words I use all the time: intentionality, commitment, and consistency. When you embrace these, it helps you to propel. It helps you to go forward. These things are futuristic. They are advancement. They are propelling. You have to embrace it, especially as women, because don't forget that women go through phases. I'm not saying men don't go through.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you why women. I want you to explain. Yes.
Because women are nurturing. So many times, as I said, you go through the familyhood, and many times we are more likely to put our career, our education, our ambitions on the shelf. Many times. It's not to say men don't do, some men do that, but I'm saying that primarily you find women doing that, especially when we have, as we call, we have our own families. We sacrifice. And it's okay, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But all I'm saying that when you have done the sacrifice, when an opportunity comes, seize it.
Yes.
Take hold of the opportunity, develop yourself, build a career, go back to work if you want to. If it's education you need, if it's it doesn't also have to be formal education. Anything that is in line of your ambition, your career, your passion. Follow it.
So it doesn't have to end at the sacrifice.
No.
You sacrifice to do something, and after that you can go back to grab whatever it is you put on hold. That's a good one. That's a good one. Wow. Can I ask you, you said you got married early.
Yes, I did.
Was that something you wanted to, like, was it something that you wanted to, because I'm asking this because a lot of young ladies now are in a rush to get married. Some ladies feel like they are too old to get married now. Everything is, everything, I mean, people are putting an age to everything. Am I too young? Am I too old? Is it too late? Is it too early? Sometimes thinking, what is all this? And because sometimes, anyway, you answer my question.
No. At the time, yes, at the time I did want to. At the time, being in UK too, I think also had its own highs and lows. At the time in UK of I can't remember, 86, 87.
No, did you see how I just had my head?
I know, right?
Do you know how old I was?
Yes.
Okay.
I won't even go there. It was a very small Ghanaian community. Remember, it's not like now. So we were, as I say, we're tight. Everybody knew
like one big family.
You find yourself at the same parties, at the same funerals, at the same birthday, at the same weddings. So we were tight. So the person that I was introduced to was like family to my brother-in-law already.
Right.
So yes, the question, direct answer was yes, I did want to. Yes, at the time I did want to.
But you're saying at the time.
Yes.
So at that time. So today, no.
We grow. Okay, we as human beings, we evolve, we grow, we know better, we go on. I'm saying this because I have a daughter. She's 21. If she was to come and say to me, I'm answering you from that point.
Right,
if she was to come and say to me, "Oh, mommy, I want to get married," she's finished her law degree this July.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
Thank you. What I would say to her is, why don't you take some time out and find you? Finding you doesn't necessarily mean that going out with different guys. No, finding you is taking time to know who you are. By putting a plan in life. I want a career. How do I get there? What do I do? How do I develop myself? What do I want to explore? What is on my bucket list? What can I do now? Finding you. Because, healthy relationships are built on when each other or in the relationship knows who he or she is.
It's in itself, right.
Because if I don't know who I am, you will struggle with me, and I will struggle, and I will struggle with
yourself.
me.
Yes.
So the answer to your question is not necessarily because I regret what I did, but I would do things differently. Not out of regret, but out of maturity, out of development, out of insight, out of knowledge, understanding.
Right. And you've answered the question I was going to ask you. No, seriously, that's really, because I was just thinking, looking back, what would you have probably done differently? But you've answered it. You've answered it.